Bring you the story about a mother whose child has a disability, but who also has her own chronic disease to deal with. Beryl Richter's report.
My name is Georgina Yawa Ankra. I have 2 children. The last born is 12 years, but I have forgotten the age of the older one. My mother and brothers stayed here with me. They are all dead.
That is Georgina Yawa Ankra struggling to tell me about herself. She lives in one of the poor, densely populated communities in Dome in the Greater Accra region. Yawa claims she was diagnosed with diabetes many years ago. She looks much older than her actual age, her hair falling off strain after strain, every layer of her skin saggy and riddled with wrinkles. The frail-looking woman is unable to do anything for herself. Almost every day, she drags herself to the street to beg for alms.
This is the room Yawa sleeps in. She shares this same room with her teenage daughter, Nyonyo. This room is filled with lots of things, from clothes packed in bags, bowls, basins, which looks untidy, and even cobwebs. This room looks untidy and unkempt. Yawa shares the same room with her daughter. Days when her daughter is not around, it means Yawa has to drag herself on her buttocks to even pick something from the chair or the floor. This is the life Yawa and her daughter have been confronted with for the past 9 years. A life of misery, a life of abject poverty.
Life has been tough for Yawa. Money to access treatment for her condition has been a challenge. She has almost no teeth in her mouth, her tongue weakened with pain that muffles her speech. Yawa has been battered by poverty, and even more so where she lays her head to rest from life's troubles is in a sorry state. Dust, cobwebs, and thick filth have enveloped the room. She appears to have been cut off from her family because of her condition. Grace Damashi is her neighbor who has been here long enough to witness the suffering of the 40-year-old.
Diabetes. I
heard her condition is diabetes, and this has made her crippled. She drags herself to the streets to beg for alms. She was a very beautiful lady and very hardworking, who was also very neat. We, her neighbors, sometimes provide support to her. She does everything in her room, cooks, urinates, and even defecates there.
Yawa's woes have deepened because her second daughter, Nyonyo, lives with Down syndrome. She is unable to provide and care for her teenage daughter because of her helpless state.
The fellow saying, what is he saying? 6 years.
For a long time, Nyonyo was miserable, lonely, and always looked dirty till a teacher in the neighborhood found her roaming on a school compound.
The first time I saw her, she didn't know how to bath. So for the first year, I was bathing for her every day. But now, when she comes and I'm in class, she would go for the bucket, fetch the water, and then bath for herself. Sometimes, if she's very dirty, then she cannot do it on her own, but she tries. For now, she knows I have to take bucket. She knows where she takes her bath every day. She knows.
The 3 weeks that Greater Accra was placed under lockdown in 2020 to help contain COVID-19 pandemic were the most difficult days of her life. No food, no friends, and no support system.
Because it was a lockdown, I was not visiting. But periodically, I called teachers who live around Domi to check on her for me.
Gloria Sari is a special education officer with the Dom Circuit. According to her, Nyonyo's consistent and kempt appearance to school aroused the curiosity of the teachers to trace the whereabouts of the parents.
We met her one day on the school compound. lots of children gathered around her, making fun of her. Then I met my sister Lizzie, who also told me she has met a girl like that. She even gave her a bath. So I asked, has the mother noticed it? She said no, she is always around dirty, so I just gave her a bath. I said, if the girl is in school and we are into inclusive education, then let's follow up to the house, find out who the mother is, and let them know that this child can be in school.
That's the story of Yawa. If you're touched to help, you can get in touch with the news team or the producer of the report, which is Beryl. That's the number right there on your screen.